Hello everyone, hello, hi. Hello and welcome to this panel in which we will answer a simple question, or not. How does technology influence storytelling? And to answer this one for this discussion, please make a warm welcome to a genius, one of a kind, someone who is obsessed with cinema since he was a kid. He made his first video game nearly 40 years ago. He has created one of the most famous franchises in history of video game, which is Metal Gear Solid, and inputting storytelling in a way no one ever did before. Recently he created one of the richest, most surrealist and intense game of all time, Death Stranding. The sequel, which will star Norman Reedus, Lea Seydoux, Elle Fanning, and Luca Marinelli, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, comes out this June the 26th, and I can assure you, you are not ready for this. Please welcome Hideo Kojima. Hi. Hideo is here with Aki. Aki will translate because Hideo will answer in Japanese, and so Aki will say the English version of the answers. And to discuss with him, someone who, like him, got into cinema when he was just a kid. You may know him for Hidden, which won the Golden Bear at Berlin in 24. To The Age of Heaven, for which he got the best screenplay in Cannes in 2007, Soul Kitchen, of course, and recently In the Fade, which won the best actress in Cannes in 2017 for Diane Kruger. He is presenting this year in Cannes Premiere Room. Please welcome Fatih Akin. All right. So the idea of this panel is to confront two ways of creating stories, one with a very visceral, realist cinema, and the other with futuristic video games using tons of technology most people don't even heard of. But first of all, before talking about this, I was curious to ask, we are here at the Cannes Film Festival. Fatih, you are used to come here quite often. Hideo, it's the first time that you're actually here. How do you feel about being here at the Cannes Film Festival?
Well, this is my dream of coming to Cannes, so I'm having fun. So I came to Cannes before the film festival, but this time it's the real Cannes Film Festival that I'm here, so I'm happy.
And for you, Fatih, you are used to it?
Well, I mean, for me, cinema is my religion, in a way, and so this is a very spiritual place. This is like the Mecca of the film world, you know. So there are a lot of people, like Muslims, they go every year or many years to Mecca, you know, because once they were there once, they feel like they were touched by God, and I was here touched by the film gods. And so once you are here, you always want to come here.
So it would be surprising for some people to reunite the both of you, but you actually know each other for quite some time now. Can you tell us how did you two meet?
Well, I was a big fan of Fatih's film. And In the Fade, the movie, I always get, like for Japan, I get like to write a comment. And I was a big fan of Fatih, so I saw the movie. And Diane Kruger was the main character. And since my game has Norman Reedus, and it's Norman's wife, so I said, Norman, like I spoke to him for about an hour of how I felt about the movie. And Norman told Diane, and Diane told Fatih. That's how we got connected. And in Japan, when they come, I met Fatih, and I've been like real friends ever since.
What do you find so compelling into each other's world and work? what do you like about each other's work?
Look, what we are looking in cinema is always the one moment what you haven't seen before. When I was here, the first time I was here was in 2005 for the jury. And Emir Kusturica was the president of the jury. And he said something smart-ass thing like, when you see one moment in the film which you have never seen before, then it's a good film, no matter what. Emir said that. And when I see Hideo's work and Hideo's games and the visuals and the ideas, they're full of moments what I have never seen. So if he would be a filmmaker, you know, he would be the best, you know. He would
Well, Fatih's movies, I see scenes that I've never seen before. There's so many genres, you know, in movies. So he makes, you know, many main characters, which is child or like old, and also the refugee, you know, society issues that he has in his movie. So it's really touching, even if I'm not the same. You know, nationality. So I'm not sure why I'm so touched. But if I stay with him, maybe I'll know the secret why I'm so touched, even though we're different nationalities. So sometimes Fatih draws himself as well, but he's loved by all over the world, and I want to learn. And also, he is full of energy, and I want to absorb that too. And same as Tom Cruise, you know, he's like, Fatih is as much as energetic as, you know, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I have a stunt to do, so we have to hurry up.
I had a question for you, Fatih, before going actually to the panel. We all know over here that many directors have worked with Hideo on the previous game. We can quote some, Nicolas Winding Refn, Guillermo del Toro. Why do you think filmmakers are so attracted by Hideo's work and way of working?
I mean, cinema is a two-dimensional art form in a way, and we're all very like visual explorers, you know. We're always on the quest for how can we do it different and what is more and where's it's like the secret chord Keith Richards was talking about, you know, there's one secret chord on every guitar and no one found it, and we're looking for the secret chord in the visual, you know, and especially the directors, you mentioned Josh Miller's Refn, and we have a feeling like Hideo knows where the secret chord is. You know, he knows where the secret chord is somehow. That's why we are attracted to his work.
Do you have a secret chord?
Yes, I do have a lot.
A lot, okay.
So let's get into this. Hideo, we know that Fatih will have a character in the new Death Stranding game. How did you create the character, actually?
Well, I got to know Fatih, and we always talk about creation. And he looked like he wanted to be in my game. So I said, do you want to be in my game? And he says, yeah. So I thought, like, I had to think of like this Dolman setting in 1 week. And when he came to Japan, I explained to him what the character is. And he said he still wants to do it. So we scanned him in Japan. And Death Stranding character is always like someone who lost something. The same with Fatih's film as well. It's about the connection of family and things like that. So I thought, you know, his character should be important with connection.
We will have images of the character just after, but it's crazy how you look, like the screen just in front of you.
It's scary. It's scary.
Well, this is before he becomes Dolman.
Yeah, sure, but still, it's crazy how it looks. Hideo, I had a question about the panel and the subject. How until which point can technology actually recreate reality? Is there a limit of it?
Well, this is the current level we see, but every day technology is evolving, and we have many other specialists coming into the game area. So architects, psychologists, all work together for the game. So it's really advancing every day. So AI would probably come in. So that's, it's limitless. Since I get bored easily, but this is the reason why I've been creating games, because every day is different. Anything that you can't do today could be possible tomorrow, or it could be possible 2 days from now. So not like, Tom Cruise. It's like Mission Impossible. Anything you can't do today, it could be possible tomorrow. So that's why I'm having fun in the game industry and creating games.
Fatih, you have not worked until now, with this amount of technology. Would you say that for you to be in a more realistic way of filmmaking gives you more freedom or more limitation?
I have to admit, I work already with artificial intelligence. When I write, it's not that the script is written by it, but I can ask, it's mostly like stuff like grammatic, or how do you spell this, or how do you spell that, this kind of stuff. How would you write this line? How would you say, can you do it like in one line? Stuff like this. I already start. I use it as a tool, And I also, in Amrum, we also had to work with AI on visual elements, on certain visual elements, So it's a tool and it's helpful, and I don't see. I see, of course, the dark clouds. I see the risk of it on the one hand, but I see the opportunities, and there's a lot of freedom, and I see my kids how they use it. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I have a 20-year-old son. My son brought me into the game world. Actually, my son knew Hideo before I knew him. Through Metal Gear. And so see how the kids are using it, It's kind of like I learned from them, and I see it as an open space, helpful tool.
And when you see the character, when you see how realistic it looks, do you recall the first time you saw that, and how did you feel?
When I saw the puppet first, I was kind of like, what? And that looks funny. And then I thought about Metallica, the most favorite album I have is Master of the Puppets, So I was thinking, I'm the master of the puppet,
Well, we actually have footages of Dolman, the character. Let's have a look. Amazing, right? Hold on.
Okay.
Dolman is actually connected to Sam's here. At first he puts it to his butt, and Dolman doesn't like it. But anyways, we're traveling together this time, so Dolman would speak a lot to the main character, Sam. So when you go back to your private room, Sam sits on the bed, but Dolman sits in kind of a shelf, so he kind of talks to you. And Sam could also talk to Dolman, so I want the people to enjoy that conversation too. So you could even throw Dolman, and you could have this, he would be a kind of a lookout for you in the open field. So I think Dolman will be very, very popular.
I want to say something. We come here to Cannes as filmmakers, to win the Palme d'Or. This is like the final aim, the final quest, like the Palme d'Or. You know what? Being a character in his game is so much better than the Palme d'Or, man.
So we talked a little bit about technology, and I wanted to bring another subject, which is storytelling, actually. Because Hideo, there's something that video games implies, is that the player participates very actively to the story by making decisions, by doing the action. How much of this active part of the writing come actually for you? How would you say writing a video game is different from what you know of movie screenwriting?
Well, it's an interactive media, so you can't decide the timeline because it's up to the player. So everyone says I'm a storyteller, but I don't think I'm very successful yet. So if there's a story and you have like a road, and for example, you're on a car, this is a story. This game is like you're on a highway and you kind of change lanes or you go out of an exit here. Usually you could do anything you want and the story reveals like limitlessly, but that doesn't happen in everyday games yet. So like for instance, we see this, the con is like an open world and you're a player and you have the stage that we're seeing, and you have a mission that you're coming to the stage, and if you make all total freedom, people will not probably make it to the stage, and people will not make it in time. So I have to decide, should I make a game over if the people won't come in time? Should I change the story? So these games is that the games also change to a cutscene, and they kind of make you come to the stage. So if you give freedom which seat you give the player to sit down, there will be so many problems that I'll face. Like for instance, you want someone to have sit in the middle, and you could keep that seat open. Or the player could come to this entrance here, but you could make a cutscene, and the cutscene, the player sits in the middle. But that's the storytelling level in a game of today, and I'm not satisfied because it's not total freedom storytelling. So I still have, I want the young people to, you know, also become a creator and think about how to be successful in interactive storytelling. So I want some help from the young people. So it would still be a progress, and it's not finalized yet.
Because you have so much evolved throughout the years and throughout your careers, from the start when you make the first video game until Death Stranding 2, it have evolved in a way no one could have imagined.
Well, I think it's still a long way to go. I'm still old, too old, but you know, I expect the young people to follow. But new technology will come in, and AI might come in. You know, it's okay. And Fatih said, AI is a tool, and you don't have to fear. In the past, people didn't drive cars, remember? So when a first automobile, everyone was scared about it. But nowadays, everyone drives a car because it's efficient. So it's the same. So the creator could use AI to make it more efficient and use it to become more creative. So it's a tool that you shouldn't fear. So the game storytelling is probably still at a start stage, and we have a long way to go. So everyone who has grown up playing games, the era of people who have played games and become musicians, writers, movie directors, I know that there's so many people like that. I would like to ask everyone to participate and solve this issue together.
Fatih, what do you understand from this way of writing stories compared to the one that you wrote?
I mean, what I truly adore on the way Hideo is writing, or how games were writing, are there seem to be no limits of direction where you write, you know? It's like you write left, and then in the left there's like, you reach a point, and then you can left again, or right, or straight forward, and this goes on and on and on and on, and you have to write it all. It's like, in a way, it's such a big work, and it's It has so many layers. It's kind of like, I don't know, it has more layers than John Milton's Lost Paradise. You know, it's really rich. And as a writer, and in the first place, I am a writer as a filmmaker. I start with the writing. You know, for me, this is a very inspiring thing. And in Amrum, the plot is there's a 12-year-old boy, and he tries to get 3 groceries for his mother in 1945 on an island where there are not these groceries. It's white bread, it's butter and honey. They don't have it on the island in 45. And the way he tries to get it really was inspired by computer games. You know, it was, okay, the next level. He has the butter. What's the next level? He needs the honey. He lost the honey. He has to go back to the second level again before he gets to the third level. I try to write. He was inspiring me. All the games my son was playing were inspiring me, you know, to write it like a game.
If I go back to the image that we had before and the way your character was made, it implies a way of directing actors which is very different from when you are in front of a camera. Hideo, can you explain to us what are the main challenges to direct actor for performance capture?
いや、パフォーマンスキャプチャーに関してはそのマーベルとかも
For performance capture, it's kind of same with like Marvel movies,
多くの俳優さんはもう経験
and many
まあ
actors
うちらはもっ
has
と細かいこと
probably experienced. We're a little bit more like a lot doing it in performance capture, but it's no different than you see in the movies.
ただ細かいモーションを何千
But
何こう
There'd be like small details like just standing up or, you know, standing up, looking sideways. And I have to ask the actors kind of do all this and we blend it in the end. So that's a little different than, you know, movies performance captures. Also, we have to do all the muscle simulation depending on the actor's body or the cloth simulation of how the cloth moves. And we have to make sure that it matches the motion. So that's not the actor's job, it's our technology job. We also ask the actors to check the outcome. So I don't think it's not too much different than doing it in the movies and in games.
And there's the facial expressions as well, right?
はい。そう顔のまあそこ一番重要です。
Yes, that's the most important part.
9ヶ月ぐらいかかるんです。
It takes after we scan it, it takes about 9 months to get
全部
delivered.
リグ作ってから
And we create the rig.
パフォーマンスキャプチャーとか
And then
ADR で。
Only after that we do performance capture or
そこか
ADR.
ら俳優さんたちに似せる
And then
のがまあ僕らの手作
We
業。
try to kind of do handmade to make it more accurate and look as accurate as possible to the
そ
actor.
こに AI がどんどん入ってくる。
But I think AI would come in and would help us in that technology. And of course, like the muscle simulation already, it's AI blended as well.
やっぱり俳優さんがないとできま
But
せん。その
we can't do this without the help of the actors.
まあ昔のゲームってまあゼロから僕らがキャラクターを作ってたんですけ
In
ど
the past games, we created the actors from scratch, like the pixel game era, and it became 3D or it became animation-like, and we try to make it as real as possible. But this level of technology, you cannot make it, you know, handmade. You have to really all this wrinkle that the actors has or the skin texture is actually how they aged is, you know, is important to implement in the game. So that's how we use technology. It's not just the facial expression, the acting, the voice, their movement, it's all from them. And we could create from scratch, yes, but it will not look as a character for these actors if we do it by hand.
Fatih, do you recall how much time you spent on the studio working on the captation of your character?
I remember it went very fast. It was like going to a doctor, but he's just controlling you. And after 15 minutes, he said, "Yeah, go. You know, show me your arms, you show the arms. Show me your head, you show the head. Show me your eyes, you show the eyes. Okay, you're healthy. Go out."
パティは
For Fatih,
人形なんで、
he's a
リグ
doll.
とかあんまり作って
So we didn't create a rig, remember? So I was thinking about that
こ
because
れ普通は
Usually,
ニコラスとか
like
ベルトロとか
Nicholas or Guillermo,
3日ぐらい
we
スキャンだ
took
けで
like 3 days just for scanning.
That's crazy. Hideo just said that it's something that is not so different from what nowadays blockbusters do, the Marvel one, for instance. It's also something that we've seen in a more modest movie, I would say, but for very precise purposes, like, for instance, the de-aging of Brad Pitt in Benjamin Button, the David Fincher movie. Is it a technology that attracts you at some point? Like, would you consider using it?
Of course. Everything what helps to make the story, helps to make the film. Every tool, you know, is if it's morally okay, you know, I would use and try out, and it's all about learning. I mean, I try to do different genres. Each time I come with a film, it's like, this film is very different than the one before. It's kind of like, because I want to explore, and if technology would help me to explore and get further, of course I would use it. Of course, it has to make sense, you know, but I would not be afraid, or I would not have these kind of like, no, I do a dogma film here, you know. I don't think like that. I think like there are no limits, you know.
I know that as Fatih has played in Death Stranding 2, you, Hideo, as well came to the set of Room, and you actually saw Fatih's work, and you saw the way he's not using that technology as well. What do you recall from this experience of coming to the set?
Well, last year, May, I think, Fatih told me that I have this scene that I want you to see, so I went to Amram. And about Amram, you don't need technology. It's about how you capture that real scenery is the key. That season and that time, and you kind of capture in a frame, in a film, is more important, I thought, when I visited Amram. And it was so beautiful. So if you see the movie, it's so beautiful, you should see it.
Thank you.
Would you play someday in one of Fatih's movies? Like being on the other side of the camera, you know?
Yeah, of course. Well, it depends on which role. If it's a battle, I want to do a battle one with the fist has like a teeth mark on it, you know.
Okay.
Oh, Hideo, you're a lover, not a fighter.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for listening to this panel about technology and storytelling. Thank you, everyone. We won't have time to have Hideo to sign anything, sorry, but we can actually take a picture of both of you on stage, maybe?
Yeah, totally fine, he says.